Do I want to talk about Farrell to Cheryl? No, no, I really don't. So I'm gonna try to minimize the Farrell because, good God, next to Diane Nutcase, she is easily one of the most annoying of these SPTV personalities. Good God, we gotta do it. So, in reaction to the protective order that Aaron is guilty of, and it's slapped on him, so he can't be anywhere near the flag building. Pharaoh Cheryl took up the flag and was near the flag, just throwing paint and powder. And just over 100 people were watching that live. Although I don't think it really was 120. I think it was like probably 90 or 80 people with just multiple accounts. I know this for a fact because a lot of people were watching Aaron were simultaneously watching Pharaoh Cheryl. So you're like, how are they doing that? So I guess they just had two different laptops or phones. And gosh darn it, buddy, they made that sacrifice using the two, three, four phones they got just to keep going back and forth, liking and tweeting and everything. Oh my God, the Church of Uranus and Church of Pharaoh Cheryl are going together. Everyone, oh my God, it's amazing. But there you go. And I had a big bet in my mind. Like, what were these, quote, protesters going to do? Of course, they were going to go to Aaron. Of course. Pharaoh Cheryl only had 3 to 4 people with her because that's what they're interested in. I want to be around you, Aaron. You're like a celebrity or something. You're on my TVs. I love yous. Scientology bads. Oh, my Lord. Like, Aaron is his own worst enemy. You know, the important thing is we have to protect the flag, right? And the answer is no, no, that's not important. The important thing is being near Uranus and get your face on the camera and be like, I'm a famous anti-Scientologist too. Go to my channel now. And there you go. Keep the grift going. And there really wasn't much to say about what Pharaoh Cheryl did. She just was like walking around, throw the powder, throw the powder. But they made a mistake, Pharaoh Cheryl says. Oh, they spread us out. They made a mistake now. Yeah, because they're conducting a Rambo, covert guerrilla operation against the. You're not fighting the building, you morons. Like, what is. Does she actually think this is assaulting us? So we'll assault the buildings and we'll stop Scientology. Right, because obviously the flag building is Scient. Are you. How stupid are you? It is just a manifestation of a corporation, you idiot. Do these like literally infantile morons think if they hurt the Hollywood sign in Hollywood, oh then Hollywood goes away because we hurt the sign? Yeah, yeah, not exactly brainiacs at work here, but hopefully they're not this stupid. I don't know, I don't know, but really I just think that building has mystical power, and if they're nearby it with their chalk, oh we will stop the Scientologists with the chalks. Right, right. But the delusions of the Aaron people are just too much. So this is somebody responding to Sandra. This is Sovereign Brehan. The Clearwater Police successfully say-pointed the protesters. I think the taken-home lesson here should be that traditional methods of protesting, doing anything that can even be remotely used against protesters, need to be scrapped and replaced with other methods of raising the awareness. Well, they weren't doing protesting to raise awareness, but anyway, they will take everything to court. And that's a win for whoever is pulling the strings because clearly lawyers are the mortar gluing together this global assault that cause is a part of. And they are the only people who win every time, no matter who else wins or loses. Right. Meanwhile, back in reality, Danny Masterson lost. He's in jail, you moron. I mean, this is basic reality. This is even Aaron's fantasy. He presupposes Danny's in jail. He asks these people, he questions, hey, Danny's in jail. What do you think about that? So if the costs and Hubbard always wins, why is Danny Masterson in jail? Your statements make no sense at all. At all. This is just being dumb. So the goal needs to include not providing any for anyone to be able to bring any kind of civil or criminal suit. You want them to have to overtly do something to you if you're going to end up in court, so that at least we get helpful information out of discovery. Okay, so that's the great grand strategy of the Aaron fans. Let's stop traditional methods. Okay, for what? The person didn't even say anything. But if you're going to court, get useful information. Discovery. Discovery is not some magical jelly bean, you moron. You can get discovery on what's relevant to the case. That's why you want a good case against Scientology. Like, what could Aaron ask Discovery for? Maybe the security guy, Gaffney. That's about it. He's not going to get unlimited access to OSA files, you idiot. Like, Jesus Christ. Try to keep up at least a little bit. That's just insane. But I want to focus on the paradox. So, Aaron is getting more subscribers, but his popularity is actually not growing. Because if you actually look very close at these videos, he keeps getting less and less people with the lives. I remember very clearly he would be able to get 1,000 to 2,000 people normally for the lives. That was just normal. He just have 2,000, 3,000. It was insane. I mean, I remember the chat just kept going so quick. It was just I could barely keep up with it. I was in the live chat sometimes. I was like, whoa, this thing's going so quick. And now it's just the complete opposite. I will say this, though. I forgot to mention this in the other video. He kept getting these super chats. It was really interesting, though. They only were $5. Again, I'm not going into conspiracy theory, but literally, like, I counted like 4 to 5 to 6, all $5. Like, it was very, very strange. And it's the same people in the chat now. It's just the same old names, the same old people. There's no new people. It's always the same names. They always say the same thing, and just slowly it just keeps going and going and going. And there's like no interaction. And everyone's just like, yeah, yeah. Like, hey, bozo clown, if you're gonna claim you're being oppressed politically, stop smiling and laughing so much. Like, again, I'm gonna say this for the YouTube. I'm not giving a professional opinion. This is speculation about all the substances that Aaron puts into his body, but he needs to lay off. Like, he's always so hyper and smiling all the time on camera. And that was not the way it was before. Even a couple of years ago, Aaron had normal moods. Now it's like, he's always smiling and hyper happy all the time. Aside from just being annoying, it's like, if you're going to give the message that, oh, Scientology is really cracking down, guys. Oh my God, the fascism. Oh, how will I survive? Well, if you're smiling all the time, clearly you don't take this seriously. Clearly you don't even think this is a threat. So I don't know what to tell the guy. Even though he literally had a whole day in jail, he still thinks this is playtime. It's not playtime. Like, I'm going through a lot of this stuff for this channel and the other channel. Because I'm trying to do this, like do more stuff on music and comedy. I was just looking up this old clip with Mike Tyson facing this is long ago, this opponent who was mocking him. And the guy was big. So you can kind of see what he's trying to do, like, psych Michael out. And Mike is like, no, this is very serious. This is very, very serious. Again, I can't quite capture how Mike Tyson did it. He has a really interesting way of speaking. It's very distinct. And yeah, that's Aaron. He's like not taking this serious at all, but it is very serious, guys. I mean, this protective order is not playing around. And it was funny that Aaron tried to do this thing to get more sympathy. So he played, and again, I don't like Scientology. I don't like their goon squad, but I think Aaron needs to deal with basic reality. So what happened is, for whatever reason, once again, he went to the door of one of these buildings, tried to intimidate one of the members, and the security guard apparently tried to shove him out, and he slammed the door, and I was like, ah, you got my foot! How dare you? You're not above the law. You touched me. Nobody touches me. And apparently the guy accidentally touched Aaron because they were falling on top of one another. And the guy wasn't trying to touch Aaron. He's like, listen, I don't even touch you. He's like, oh, my foot. Oh, my foot. And I get what Aaron was trying to do because the door to him is like, whoa, that's not technically right over the property line. A judge is not going to care. They hire security people for a reason. And he's taped this. His friends have taped it. I mean, I find it incredible. He has entered Scientology buildings without invitation numerous times. So a security guard pretty reasonably can say, oh, okay, well, we don't trust you. Please get away from the door. Right? It's not like one of these like, ooh, well, maybe no. You have a pattern of behavior of breaking and entering. Unless you're explicitly invited in, you're not welcome to come into those spaces, Aaron. But it's like, and then now they're charging me for that assault. Aaron, You don't have a constitutional right to get to the Scientology door. It's not magic, you moron. Do the Scientology people have a right to go to your door? No, no, they don't. And what do we think would happen if Scientology was dumb enough to send people going to his house? He'd call the cops, right? Because it's his property. So he acts this, I'm a radical communism. Oh, what is public? Oh, what is private? This is the public space. But when people protest him, he's like, I'm going to call the cops. You go to jail now. Okay, so if you protest Aaron, you go to jail. Right. He touches the Scientology property. No, that's public. It's actually public. I get to do whatever I please. And now that he has a protective order, he's like, oh, by the way, guys, I was annoying people at the door, and they gave me another charge. Can you believe that? Right. Right. Yeah, I can believe that, Aaron. Again, unless you were invited in, they would be like, why are you near the door? Why don't you just keep your distance? Right? I don't know. I don't know. But I love the example he always gives of the water. Hey, they were, oh my God, I faced tons of waters. Look at the video. Tons of waters all over my sneakers. All the assaults. Well, Aaron, if you're serious about this, you can get a lawyer. You have the money, and you can tell the lawyer, sue Scientology for pouring water on your sneakers. Why don't you try to do that? Why don't you try to do that? Believe me, any lawyer now will take any case. Of course, that lawyer will probably be responsible enough to say, yeah, the chances of us winning on that one, the water sneaker thing, is like 100 to 1. It ain't gonna happen. You can do it. It's just a waste of time. But anyway, so I will say this though. Uh, in the midst of his propaganda, he did show one true thing. At one point, one of these Scientology agents did hit one of the protesters with a broom. I think that was Jamie. So Jamie might have a case. That's about it. So 6 months of alleged protesting, they could only find one incident where Scientology genuinely broke the law. Every other instance, it's like, well, that's not really breaking the law. I mean, that's borderline. Like even Erica being bumped by a car, she wasn't being run over. She wasn't being even hit. Probably the judge is gonna be like, well, you're not really hurt. It's like, maybe it'll be a fine. If Erica wants to pursue that, that's fine. But that's all Erica's gonna get. It's gonna be a fine. It's not a criminal case. And it's hilarious how Aaron puts his videos up for display to defend himself. They keep showing he's an aggressive bully. And he's like, God, Judge, look at my videos. All the water, the oppression of the waters I face. Yeah, you're not you're doing Scientology's job, Aaron. Like all these videos show you're overwhelmingly guilty. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna put this before a jury. Yeah, I'm sure some psychopaths may side with you, but most juries are not that stupid. They're gonna be like, well, he's definitely breaking the law. The question will be how many years to put him away. And unfortunately, he probably will only get like a year and a half in jail, like P. Diddy. But yeah, I don't see how Aaron's gonna argue to a jury. Yeah, okay, the powder hit the guy, but I'm Iranish. Okay, you keep going with that. You keep going with that lie, King. We'll see how many people buy it.